It's a Thursday.
Yes.
So that's not the excitement that we are expecting.
For it?
Because it's a weekend. You should shout, good morning!
Good morning!
That's pretty good. Please put your hands together and welcome yourself first of all. Enthusiasm is good, but all enthusiasm may not allow you to sit inside the hall. Are we good to start?
Yes.
Are we good to start?
Yes.
Real people, real stories. Everybody likes stories, right?
Yes.
Somebody don't like it?
No.
So somebody didn't reply it. I thought like they didn't like stories. You like stories?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, life is all about stories. Life is all about the way that how we tell stories. Real life sometimes may be too complex, but stories give the form. And today, we are really fortunate that we have the best presenter of DXN Globe with us to tell you some stories or some real life stories. Or rather, I can say, his life story is being celebrated as the most successful life story in the history of DXN Middle East.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my extreme pleasure, privilege to welcome the first and foremost crown ambassador of DXN Middle East to tell you about real people, real stories. Please put your hands together and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chevy, for that wonderful introduction. So, Ashwin, are we on now?
Yeah.
All right. So, without further ado, I just want to know how many people are here for the first time. Just raise your hand. You don't have to stand up. How many people are here for the first time? So, you got a couple of people, just one or two. Rest of all, you are members, right? Okay. So, I'm going to take about 50 minutes and then we are going to wrap it up since it's a weekend. So it is important that what Chevy said, that people don't want to go through the complicated description about the product and about the business. They would like to know how that particular product or that opportunity has helped them. This cliche which is you are looking at, facts tell and stories sell. In our business of direct selling or network marketing, when you are telling, you are selling. So this is one of the big mistake that we are doing. The moment we find somebody who needs our product or a person who needs our business opportunity, we start telling about everything, what we know. So I'm going to show you how you can make your talk more productive and more beneficial. Stories are like magnet, and if you see, if you like to draw somebody's attention, then you have to tell the story in a right way. You have to be a storyteller. So what you are looking at the picture, it is actually happening, and you need to learn how to tell stories. So when you are a good storyteller, everything shifts, and I'll give you scientific proof around that. And the real result, as I said, is what people are looking at, not all the facts and about the details of the products and everything. More so, people get connected when the story is coming from your heart. And let me tell you, even a small kid understands that story or that talking that you are doing is real or salesy. So you become an authority because it's your story. It's not somebody else's story. So you should have your own story to tell to the people. So now this is scientifically proven. This is not me talking. This is people who have done a lot of research on storytelling, how it affects our brain. So this is, I did research. So when the storytelling is going on, there are 4 things happening. One is called neurocoupling. What is a neurocoupling? If you look at a nice movie, you see all the movies, especially in my days and even sometime now, there are sometimes very nice scenery and a romantic movie, and the guy who's sitting, who starts thinking that I'm the hero. In the movies, this is basically what happens. And so this is called a neural coupling. You try to, imagine yourself in that person's storytelling. The other one is called mirroring. You try to copy somebody. This is called mirroring, and you look at the 2 brains of a storyteller and you. This is what is basically happening scientifically. The other 2 things which is happening, dopamine. Dopamine is something which makes you happy. And this is where a lot of people are very good at. Remember in the selling, whosoever is trying to sell, and the way he or she talks, I'm not talking about only our company DXN, I'm talking about you go to Dubai Mall and there's somebody who's trying to sell you something and you have not entered to buy the product, but the way that person presents it and the way you look at it, you make an emotional decision. There are a lot of people, they are called impulsive buyer. They don't go to buy, but they go ahead and buy. Why? It's because of they find some pleasure and something really good that this is going to, give it to them. That is, and there are, products which helps in making that type of things. And cortex activities is this something to do with the body language of the person who's giving you the story and his tone. Remember, out of whatever you are trying to tell, only 7% are the words, the impact of words. 93% of it is the way you talk, the tone, and your body language. I'll move on. What is storytelling? So it is happening from time immemorial. You are listening to people about stories, and then in the story there is a beginning, there is a middle, and there is an end. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the real life story of this beginning, middle, and the end. And I don't know whether when you were small or with your children, the children, we have got some teachers, I'm sure they know exactly with their children, they have been doing the storytelling once upon a time, and then whatever happens after that. These are the fables and all, but this is sometimes a myth, sometimes a real story, but the children get fascinated. So if you would like to get your child out, whatever age you are, 30, 40, 50, you definitely learn how to do this storytelling. And there are a lot of movies. I mean, this is one of the Walt Disney. I don't know how many people saw this movie, Bedtime Stories. If you have not, then just go to YouTube. They've got the complete movie free. You don't have to pay any money also. There are so many types and different categories of it. So the history of storytelling, it started right from the beginning, from time immemorial. You look at that past, those guys, they moved and they started telling stories after stories after stories. And this is how the modern day story is taking place. Whether it is in your office, whether it is the Snapchat, or whether it is a social media, meetup group, there is still stories going on, but in a different format. Now I go more into the technical part of it, which is story has got two words, story and telling. So story is about what information that you are imparting, the knowledge, the experience, or the events that you want to tell. Okay, these are the facts, the details. But how you're conveying is that telling part has got the more impact. The way you talk is through your words, there are images, there are photos, there are PowerPoints, whatever way. So it has to connect with the people. And you have to be real. So what are the benefits of storytelling? So it has to have benefits. People would like to, whatever you are saying, they are trying to imagine themselves in your shoes. They are trying to see the benefit. They are seeing the happy ending, which is called the pleasure, or if I am sick, how I can get out of sickness. There are two types of sickness. There's a sickness of the body, and there's a sickness of the pocket. Most of the people who have come over here in the Middle East is not because they had the sickness of the body, they had the sickness of their pockets. So that's why they are over here. So what you need to do is transfer this knowledge in a very natural, beautiful way. And while you're telling the story, you're developing some sort of a relationship with that person. Never ever talk about your food supplement, about the money or anything. When you are talking about the story, try to build that relationship and have that passion, that enthusiasm in you. And let the other person imagine whether that person can come out with. So basically, the purpose of the story is transferring of the knowledge, which the person doesn't know. So there are certain principles of storytelling, and that is if I'm talking to a person, I should have a proper eye contact. You cannot just keep on telling the story by looking down or looking here and there. So that connection is not there. Have to have that body language, which I said 93%, that should flow to the other person. Then only that person gets. You should be prepared for a nice story, your real story, your voice, your volume, the tone that you are having, and the speed that you are talking at. If I talk very fast, and you cannot get it, what is the use? Or if I talk very slow, the person gets bored. It should be the storytelling or the talking that I do should be so that the other person can understand, whether it is in your language or whether it is in English. So all this makes your story an impact. So let me tell you, whatever I have given you the foundation of story, I am going to tell the story of health, wealth, freedom and happiness. The purpose of my telling a story is because I'm not trying to take somebody else's story, and I want to not just impress that this is what I did, but I want to impress upon you that you can have the real story also. So my beginning is who I was. This is the beginning of my story. I mean, people get very impressed with the F-16 aircraft and my uniform as a Pakistani Air Force officer. That was my past. Alhamdulillah, it was a beautiful story. I started my career. And then in 2003, I joined the company. That's the middle. Okay? I joined, I tell the people that it was because of my health reason. Alhamdulillah, I found the health solution. And then I saw that there is an opportunity for getting my freedom. So this is a real story. I mean, you need to really work on yourself to have where you were, where you are right now, and where you want to be. So my present right now is, Alhamdulillah, I'm traveling around the world, trying to help people. This is my present, making a difference in the lives of the others. And this is not in terms of only money. This is the audience that I had in Lima a couple of years back. And this is the audience that you're looking at I had in Casablanca just 3 days back. I was there and 700 people are right there. Can you see? This is we had in Sheraton Casablanca, and Alhamdulillah, all these people had come from far and wide, from 7 hours drive from Agadir, from Sahara Desert, from Tangier to come and attend to this big recognition night that we had. So my story, whatever I have, you can have it yourself. So from the health came my personal freedom. Like I said, that everybody had come because of the sickness of the pocket. In the Middle East, you agree that you come over here to earn money.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the only reason that you are here. You were earning in your own country, but you were not making enough money. You could not save. You want to go higher. So this is what you should be looking at. You should map your freedom. And Alhamdulillah, I mean, the book that I have written is around that, how I got my freedom. The brand Map Your Freedom was in 2005. When, after 2 years of me joining, I could see that I can get my freedom. And that was the time this Map Your Freedom was born. Alhamdulillah, through me, through my story, a lot of other people have also got. Now, what is the future of my story? Now, it's not about the health. Of course, I'm still using the products. It's not about the money. I mean, remember the financial freedom that people are looking at is whatever expense that you have, say if it is 5,000 dirham and you start getting passive of 7,000 dirham, you are having a financial freedom. So there are a lot of people who have got the financial freedom. I'm just one. Now my aim or my is to touch the millions. I don't not now looking at just 1,000 or 200. I've already coached over 100,000 people worldwide. Only this time. So let me tell you one thing for sure. I'm older than most of you all. How many people are above 60? Please raise your hand. Above 60. So we have got few young people above 60 or just 60. They are saying it. So remember, this age, a lot of people say is just a number. And I've seen my neighbor, he's 87 years old. 87 years, in that neighborhood everybody is about 80, so I'm a young guy over there. So you can well imagine. But when I see them, I really get the enthusiasm. I mean, look at these guys, the best garden, the best activities, they are going out and doing whatever a young guy can do. But the important thing is when you're healthy, then it becomes a number. You can be a very young person, 25 years old. But if you are sick, then you are having all the youth, all the money, all the fame, all the power. Everything is multiplied by zero. So, Alhamdulillah, we have products which have helped millions of people. Right? We are 9 million people who are using our product and getting the benefit of our products. So now my question to you is, what is your story? You have a story. So what I'm going to do is, at the end, I want 3 volunteers to come in the front and they have to tell their story in 1 minute. And whosoever gives the best story will get a prize. What prize you would like to share? Anything from there? You want mushroom?
Yes, sir.
He wants Mycovita. So whatever Shebi gives it out, so there will be a prize. But more important is the story has to come out from here. Nobody else it should be your story. So I'll give the first privilege to the ladies and then the rest to the men over here. So this is at the end. This is something that I don't know whether it will play or not. There's a guy by the name, today I was looking at this beautiful video. The gentleman name is Darren Hardy. Anybody knows this person, Darren Hardy or Darren Daly? He's a motivational speaker. He's a really successful person. Darren Hardy or Daily, you go Google, and this is all about story, the impact of stories. So, real people, real stories. So remember, it's my 17th year going in DXN. Alhamdulillah, it's a beautiful journey that I'm having after getting my freedom, of course. And I got my freedom in January of 2007. So if I can get it at age 50 plus, I was at that time 50 plus, you are very, very young people. You should not have any excuse that you cannot get your freedom. So whatever money that you are earning, whether it is 3,000 dirham or 5,000 or maybe 10,000, you make that your target to get your financial freedom. So now I'm going to talk about the product stories and the testimonials. So there are not one, there are thousands of real stories of people who have come out of their diseases. This case is for breast cancer, and then we have this case which is of night blindness, where I'm involved with Mr. Jijit in Pakistan. So our product, remember, those new people who have come over here, is not specific for any disease or organ. I'll repeat, our product goes in the cause of the problem, not the symptoms, not the organ, not the disease. Those who are using the product, they know exactly. Our products are food and food supplements. That is not a pharmacy, that's not drugs, and we are not doctors. Anybody who is suffering from any disease should be continuing with their medicine, and at the same time they should be using this as supplement or as superfood. So I can keep on talking. There are a lot of people who come over here, like Dr. Asma and Dr. Ranjan, Dr. Ratna. A lot of materials in the YouTube also now. It's the age of... they can keep on talking for hours. Even our great Dr. Lim talks about gynotherapy and all that. But you have to use that knowledge inside your body. You cannot talk from here. I said, your story has to come out. And my friend over here, Mr. Farad, I'll tell him to share his story. And not a very long time. It's just about 6 months or less. And he'll tell you his story. I've got my friend from Air Force, my colleague Hamza, since 2003. He's been using our product. Very, very loyal consumers. The guy who came over here, remember the person who had to go for, he came all the way from Malaysia, and his mom is using the product since 2003. Why these guys are, you must have seen the guy with the muscles and all that. He is Iron Man of UAE. And you want to know what's an Iron Man, just Google what is Iron Man. So there are success stories, not one, two, there are stories in DXN. So how many people have gone through the success stories of all these people? Just raise your hand. Raise your hand. So you see, you would like to become successful. Then you've got a tool which is called dxntu.com. So everyone who is here as Crown Ambassador, their reach to become that, how they did that, their stories are there. I mean, this lady was over here, Dharamsila. Buddhiman had been here. Dr. Parwana, a great guy again. All these people have some practical, real stories. You want to become successful, find out what they did right. How did they become successful? You know, this neighbor of mine, he was 87 years young. That's what he calls himself. So I asked him, I said, Bob, you are just not an ordinary Canadian. You are, mashallah, way up. At some time, he was earning multi-million dollar, not one, per month. That was his business turnover. So I asked him one question. I said, Bob, tell me, what is the secret you would like to tell to the people? So you know what he said? He said, read real people stories, autobiography of people. If somebody has written their story, who is at that level, whether he's a president, or he's a prime minister, or he's an artist, or he's a Michael Jackson, or anything, they have come to that level after many, many years. Michael Jordan, one of my favorite stories of the superstar in basketball. So you have stories of successful people in DXN. So that's your homework for the coming 1 week. Go to dxntu.com and go and read stories. And some people, for example, out of these, we have the video of Mr. Salim Budiman. Now, in Gulf, we have got so many Crown Ambassador, and there are videos of people, and those videos, again, it retracts, and you can use this video to tell the stories of the people. Now, when DXN Malaysia said that you are going to be covered by some European people who will come and do the video shoot. So can you imagine, for 2 weeks I stopped my business. I started writing scripting, in fact, what I'm going to put in that story, video story. So it was no doubt a success story but mine, but I had in mind how my success story is going to make Obad or make Ramesh or make Abdullah or Farida successful. That was basically my aim. So there are 15 success tips which helped me to become where I am today or where I was at that time. So this is about those success stories. Now I'll tell you some of the success stories of people. How many people know this guy, Jamal Masadi? Could you raise your hand? So we have got 3-4 people. A real success story. He was a policeman in Abu Dhabi, and from there he moved over to become financial freedom he got. Then he moved to Malaysia, and imagine he is addressing hundreds and thousands of people. Crown Ambassador, one of the most successful Arab leaders in the world. That's him. Just a guy in the motorbike. And I met him in 2004. Because his cousin said, please, Mr. Vani, my cousin is not listening to me. And this is the problem with the relatives. If your sisters or brothers or whatever, cousins, uncle, they not listen. Because they always remember whatever mistake you have done when you are 10 years or 20 years, they still remember your mistakes. How can you become successful? How can you talk about all this success story? So better use third-party credibility. So that's what he did, and I had a chit-chat, and within one day he joined, and then he made he made huge network with one of the most successful Arab leaders around the world. So now I come to story of 2 laborers. This was a laborer in Pakistan working in the tanneries. Leather thing, carrying it from one point to the other. His salary was hardly $35 per month. Imagine. And now he is presenting the memento to Dr. Lim. This is in Royal Caribbean Cruise in 2012 or 13. Another story of this guy, again a laborer who was in the construction over here in Dubai. 2013, his name is Fida, and can you see him there? Can you see him here in 2015? And this is just a month back I was there, and look at him. A big change. Like him, there are a lot of laborers here also. You have got a lot of success stories to tell. So you don't have to be a Crown Ambassador to talk about the stories. Now he is using social media in order to. So he wants the Magovita, okay? Or mushroom. So the thing is that imagine a laborer who is not having higher education, and now his network is around the world. So there was an audio clip. I just moved on because I have already done about 30 minutes. Now this is the success stories of the refugees of Iraq, Syria and Libya. I go every year to Istanbul, Turkey, and these are the people who are deaf and refugees. And imagine the life of refugees. You are blessed people, staying in a free world, getting whatever, alhamdulillah, your salary and the lifestyle is completely different. You go and see these refugees, your eyes will start, having water, you'll start crying. And these guys are getting from $300 to $3,000 to even $10,000, these refugees. Then from your own city, from your own country, UAE, we've got two courageous ladies, and everybody knows, Wafa Bader and Roshanara. I met them when they had their husbands. So this is now, her husband was, doing a very good business for hotel refurbishment before 2008. Wafa's husband was running a huge business for. So you can well imagine when you're trying to negotiate for the aircraft deals, it's not a normal business. Private jets. And then after some time, their husband died. So it's a very cruel and ruthless world, especially for women, when they are all by themselves. And they fought back. In the last 10, 12 years, they have transformed their lives and the lives of their families and the lives of many, many people. She's right now, Roshanara is presenting in Sharjah, otherwise she would have been over here. So, if a widow can do it, alhamdulillah, you with your whole families can do it much, much better. This is a single mom. Her name is Mehnaz Kiran. She was over here. And her husband died. I'm going to read her story because before coming over here, I told her, please send me your story. And now she's doing a women power workshop in Pakistan in January. So I told her, tell me, Mehnaz, your story. So she said, before I joined DXN, I worked with a shipping company as a sales manager for 9 years. But the job did not give me much satisfaction due to the uncertainty in the industry and the time frame. Can anybody say your job is secure? Can anybody say over here? So that is what she felt 9 years. It was the main reason for me to look for some sort of an alternative that could give a backup plan to support myself and at the same time fulfill my dreams. Dekho, everybody has come here with a dream. Do you have a dream?
Yes.
I did not hear. Did you have the answer? Yes. Your dream is also like that. So what do you expect? Yes. I mean, that is not the way to talk about the dreams. Now, how, you see again, the beginning of the story, the journey that she has over here, the beginning of in DXN was a blessing. My father got sick, and then from that, she saw the product work because of this organic product that is there. And then when my father got health, I wanted to spread it and started DXN with passion. You see, the dearest person in this whole world is first your mom and your dad who brought you in this world. And then you grow and then you get married and it's your wife or a husband and your children. That's how the life cycle works. And look at this. Husband died and these are her grown-up children. What tough life she would be having as a widow. So I didn't know about the DXN business. When I came to know that there is no boss, I was surprised and glad. When I was doing job at times, it was very difficult to manage time and all the things as lady or as a single parent, as a daughter, because I had a lot of responsibility. I'm a single parent and my husband passed away and supporting my family, and I had a lot of responsibilities. All right. So if you look at this, freedom comes at a cost. If you want to get freedom from DXN, then the most important thing that you need to give is time. And of course, whatever you are buying, this is not spending. You know, some people say 100 dirham or $100 or 300 dirham. It's too much of expense, too much of money, Mr. Ghani. So I tell them, what is the cost of your health? You can have all the money in the world, as I said, and you can have all the power in the world, and you are sick, that's multiplied by 0. So the main thing that made me go full-time in DXN, freedom. I give more time to my children, and with DXN, you do get time freedom, provided you have got the financial freedom. That is most important. So she broke loose, and now she's one of the top leaders, women leader. She is a double diamond, and whatever she can think of, she's getting it. So my vision is to help others and do duplication of help. I forget my pains and tension of others. Now DXN is my love, my passion, my career, my life, my everything. That's her story. And this is not just, I just about 4 or 5 days before going to Morocco, I said, Mehnaz, I need your story. And that is the reason why this story was not there when I was having it in Sharjah, if you remember. So let's join hands together and go out and reach out to help more and more people. Now I come to the success story of social media. Of course, Laszlo, how many people know, who has been coming over here? All right. Developed his network through social media. He came to know about DXN from social media. And this lady and the husband, who was here in the beginning of this year, imagine, she joined in January of 2018. All the young girls that are over here, if you have Facebook, I'm sure, how many people have Facebook? Just raise your hand. Everybody has. So if I ask you how many people you have in your Facebook, even if it is women, so it will be at least 500. At least 500. So if not 500, say 200. So if you have 200 friends, so those friend, every person is minimum 200. 200 multiplied by 200? 40,000. Get your math right. 40,000 people you have in your reach. It'll take you more than a year to reach out those to 40,000 people. If somebody says, I don't know people, then they don't know what Facebook can do for you. So this lady was cooking. That's a success story. And she was teaching people. You see, in Facebook, there are a few things which are very, very popular. One is cooking. The other one is sometimes weight loss and skincare. These are the things which are very, very the top. And the other one is something about family stories and all that. So from normal cooking to the ladies only, when DXN was introduced, she moved over to super cooking, super food. And January of this year, she had 18,000 members in her team. 18,000. Today, you know what is her rank? If somebody says, DXN is a tough business, so it is, just think over it. She is an executive crown, senior crown diamond. 13 lines crown diamond. 13 lines. And most probably next year, she is going to be the fastest crown ambassador in the world. This lady. This is just about 5 days back. I was having a workshop. Now I don't just give a talk like that. These are the ladies from Morocco. I've given them something to work on their mobile. I said, let's look for some prospect. Everybody is having this smartphone, whatever. And they're right there in the class, they found people. How many people know about a lady called Miss Adelia? A crown ambassador, first crown ambassador of North and South. She is from Mexico. I met her first time in 2007. And she was taking me around after my seminars and all, myself, my wife, and we were driving through Mexico City. And then my wife asked her that, Adelia, tell us about your story. And as we came to the signal, back home in the signal, there are children or people who are wiping, cleaning your windshield or selling some popcorn or lollipop or some things. This is in the third world countries. This is what I saw in Morocco also. So when I was a small girl and I was, single parents child. And from there I struggled and struggled and struggled. And then somebody introduced me to DXN. And her entire life changed. Crown Ambassador, she's having more than 5 service centers in Mexico. Imagine. And I've been to 3 service centers of hers. I didn't go here. I went to Cancun. I was invited to go and do the workshop in Querétaro, and she lives in Mexico City. So in my book, again, there are a lot of stories. Story of ordinary people, story of doctors, story of women, story of laborers, story of this lady. There's a chapter called Women in Network Marketing. And that's the success story of Adelia Garcia. Then comes the story of legacy. This man, we were together in the TSIP in India about 10 years back, a fighter pilot from Yemen. After he came back, his plane crashed, died. Everybody has to die, of course. All right. Now, after that, you can well imagine, he worked very hard and his earning was about $400 or $500. So all of us from Gulf and especially from Dubai, we said that how we can help the widow of this person. So I volunteered to go to Sana'a, to Yemen. And I met her children. And that small boy who came to the stage, he said that Baba is not here, he's gone. But he comes every month in the form of the DXN bonus. From $350, $400, today his network has got $4,000 of bonus every month. I'm talking about dollars, not dirham. So how many people would like to get that $4,000? Raise your hand. So rest of the people, you can go and have your coffee. And those who are really serious to earn that 4,000, then I can teach them something more. All right. So there are books, and this is my guru in our business of network marketing. He has written a book about how in network marketing your stories can bring the prospects. You are using the Facebook, and there is a story in the Facebook, in the news feed, and if you go there, there is a story. Like you see, they add a story. At that time, I didn't add the story. It stays there for 24 hours. And by the way, it goes into your messenger also. I mean, you need to learn this technology. And this is a very, very powerful technology. Do you have any idea how many people come to Facebook every month? 2.2 billion people come every month. 2.2. Say it loudly, my God. That is very slowly you said, my God. Imagine, out of 2.2 billion, and you have got an access to, some people have got 500 Facebook, Khalid, how many Facebook people you have in your team?
1,500.
Huh? 1,500 multiplied by 200, the mass goes 300,000 he has got, reached to. Even if he works for 2 years, he cannot reach to 300,000. So how do you talk to them? This is what you need to learn now. You don't have to go and knock at the people and catch the people in Dubai Mall or on the street on Rola or in Karama. You catch that person. You don't know anything. You're in Nepal. Talk. He said, okay, please say. And then why is the person is getting so friendly with me? So write your story in the Facebook, and it is reaching out to a lot of people in your friend circle. All right. So how many people are using WhatsApp? So everyone is using WhatsApp. If you are WhatsApp, of course, but the good news I'm going to have come to know that within the coming months your WhatsApp will start working in Dubai, inshallah ta'ala. Can we have a good clap on that thing? Don't ask me when, but that's what I heard. In WhatsApp also, like the story in the Facebook, it has got a setting, and you can put code, put it in the setting, and it is there for 24 hours. And after say 10 hours, you see how many people have seen it. So you might have, how many people you have in your telephone or WhatsApp? I mean, too much. How many people can you tell me? About 365 people. So are you talking to 365 every day? No, you are talking to maybe 6 or 10 people, right? So imagine those people whom you are not talking, and you put that story in the WhatsApp, nice quote. There are so many good quotes, so many beautiful things to talk about, pictures and all, and it goes to 365 people. So when you see, okay, oh, I know this person, but I have not spoken, and the person is seeing it. So what do? You go over there and click on that person, okay, and that person WhatsApp will come on, and it's all blank because you have not spoken to that person, and you just say, hello Ramesh, it's been a long time, I'm glad that you saw my post in the WhatsApp. What did you like? And try to have the conversation with a question, and that's called engagement. These are the things that you need to learn. So again, I come back to the same thing: facts tell, stories sell. Now, what is the mistake that we are making in our business of direct selling, network marketing? The moment we find somebody, we jump on that person and start talking about the benefit of the product, benefit of the business. If the person is not ready, we try to make him lie down and then put our leg on their neck and say, "Do you sign up over there?" That is the force that we are using. This is extreme force, but the force that you are using, all the time you're calling that person. That doesn't work like that. You need to find the problem of people. People have problems.
Yes.
And there are 2 problems that people have all around the world, except in the Middle East, 3 problems. Health problem, money problem. Now you come from Nepal or Bangladesh or India, any place, the 3rd problem is not there. You are in Nepal, you are with your family, with your father and mother, your wife and children, you are there. Here you are alone. There's a big problem, let me tell you. You can have all the money, but you cannot give the love and the time to your children. Only yesterday I came back from Morocco, and the guy who was driving me from the airport to my house, so I was just, prospecting is in my blood, like oxygen I'm taking. I keep on talking to people. So I talked to him. I said, "Where are you from?" His English was perfect. He said, "I'm from Bangladesh." I said, "How long you are here?" He said, 12 years. I said, "How's life?" "Her life is very good, but I'm missing my family." I said, "What are you going to do about it?" He said, "Now I've decided to go back home. I'm tired." So I said, "What are you going to do once you go back to?" He's from Dhaka. He said, "I don't know." I said, "You don't know? I can help you." That's it. He said, "How can you help?" Like, "I'm coming right now from Morocco, helping the Moroccan people, and of course I would love to help the Bangladeshi people." That's it. He said, how can you help me?" I said, "Thank you very much for dropping me in Sharjah, Now you have to go back and pick another 10 passengers. You concentrate on that. Whenever you are free and when you are about to go, give me a call. I want to see whether you are really serious of what you are saying, what you want to do in Dhaka. So that's how you talk. I mean, you have to learn. So my recent Morocco trip, as I said, that these are the people who are recognized ladies. So many ladies. Can you see all that? Travel to Casablanca, 7 hours, 8 hours. These are hungry people. I loved being in that crowd because everybody was charged up. Do you have a dream? Yes, we have a dream. That is not the way that they jumped up. Said, we have a dream. I said, don't jump up so much, please. Because we have come from Agadir. Or we have come from Marrakesh. Of course, there is a beautiful blue city. If you have not gone, this is the city that I went there for yesterday. This was on the bucket list. I've been to a lot of beautiful places. Let me tell you, this is one place that you should be going to. And my seminar, same on Real Story, is in Abu Dhabi day after tomorrow at 8 p.m. same time. All right. So now we have got your story should be ready. All right. So who is volunteering for the story? Please raise your hand. You want to be successful leader? Okay, one story is here. Any ladies? I said the ladies would like to tell a story. Farida? Pass. You want to tell a story? Yes, okay. And anybody from the back? Okay. Sunil, Purbe. All right. All right. So we can stop this thing because we would like, because this is going live, so we don't want to bore the other people. So enjoy this, whatever you have learned from my today's this real story, real people, and you should have your own story. That's all as far as you all are concerned. I'll be with the crowd. Thank you and good morning.